sports is for everyone, Onarnelo. There's no Horekia Mango. It's for all of us.
Yes.
Sports Night Amplified with Mandela on Metro FM. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Game over.
7 after the hour, 6 about to go 8 on the Mighty Metro FM. Welcome to it. It's Sports Night Amplified with Andile on the Mighty Metro. Thank you so much to Touch as well as Loot. They do it again tomorrow between 3 and 6. Great conversations, great life experience. It's not radio. It's like listening to a movie. Have you ever listened to a movie? It's action-packed. It's a roller coaster. It takes you up and down, gets you emotive. Today's conversations with the guest were very emotive, very emotional. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It gave me a reason to get up and go again. It gave me a why. I really enjoyed that. And all the best, of course, with the very complex issues and technicalities that need to happen with transplants and such. I look forward to hearing that happy story when the outcomes do come out. Thank you so much to Touch and Loot and the entire team, Morena, as well as Kio Rapetsi. They do it again tomorrow. Hey, yesterday, that conversation is still ongoing. It's still carrying on. You know, many wanting to know what now, is this all the sides? I do know for a fact that Coach Rulani Mokoena is sitting back and, he's reflecting. He's taking time. He's absorbing everything that's happened. As you know, it has now been made official by Mamelodi Sundowns, taking out a statement to say that the relationship between themselves and Coach Rulani Mokoena has ended. I will read it to you. It is a lengthy write-up. Mamelodi Sundowns and Rulani Mokoena agreed to part ways, it reads. Mamelodi Sundowns and Rulani Mokoena amicably concluded an agreement bringing to an end Rulani Mokwena's employment as head coach. Sundowns wishes to express its gratitude to Rulani Mokoena for his contribution to the success and achievements of the club during his tenure as head coach. Rulani Mokoena will forever be part of the Mamelodi Sundowns family, and the club wishes him all of the very best with his future endeavours. It is a lengthy statement, but it's the second part of it which I want to read to you, to which I need a discussion on. All of that coming up. But that's not all. We've got a journeyman in the studio, the only South African playing in Tanzania at the moment, who's won the league there, who plays with one of the best players in Africa, according to me. I went to see them play in Tanzania, and I think he can give us a little bit more information about his career in Tanzania, but also about that man, Aziz Ki.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts because Metro FM is bringing the heat to Durban July weekend.
Party time.
It's a power-packed 3-day extravaganza kicking off this Friday night. We're broadcasting live from Tiger's Milk for a sensational edition of Audiogasm. Expect electrifying beats and a night you won't forget. Join us from 7 p.m. to get the weekend started right. On 6th Saturday, the Pit House Sessions is taking the groove to the next level at the exclusive Afrotainment Marquee. From noon till late, we'll be jamming to the finest tunes, featuring some of the hottest artists and performers in the industry. It's the place to see and be seen. So come dressed to impress and ready to dance. Finally, we wrap up this spectacular weekend back at Tiger's Milk on Sunday. The one and only Paul with the Chill Factor will be coming live from 12 to 3 p.m., bringing you the ultimate Sunday jams. Don't miss out on the ultimate Durban July weekend experience. Brought to you by Metro FM. For more details, follow us on social media at Metro FM SA.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Music with the coolest DJs. Metro FM.
Where the true players at?
It's where you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
The Super Journal, Mazola Molefe. Big story, Mazola. Nowhere did we think we'd be speaking about Rulane in the same breath with Sundowns and leaving. You broke the story.
I've been chasing the story for quite some time. Started sort of kind of digging to try to find out what is actually happening at Turkop, and then it emerged. The relationship had broken down between the sporting director and the coach.
Oh no, definitely not the day for that. Definitely not the day for that. Would I be fair in then saying Sundowns have chosen the TD over the coach?
Oh, absolutely. Without a shadow of doubt, want to believe that Mamelodi Sundowns have already lined up a coach that's probably going to agree to the sporting director's vision.
6 to 7 p.m. Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sports.
All right, it's 12 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. I'm going to play some clips from yesterday from the conversation as it is. But what I was reading to you a little bit earlier in the statement, I wanted to take a break because it is rather lengthy. Coach Mangoba Mngqithi and the technical team will continue to lead and take control of the training and preparations of the players for the upcoming season. Mamelodi Sundowns is preparing and focusing on competing and competing in all the upcoming competitions, which, of course, include football clubs representing the African continent in the historic FIFA Club World Cup in 2025. But I think what's important there is this paragraph that says the decision of Mamelodi Sundowns was taken by the board, taking into account the objectives and expectations of the club, and was not influenced. This is what's important here. And was not influenced or based on the recommendation of any individual associated with the club. That tells you, right? Right then and there. I'm going to repeat that. The decision of Mamelodi Sundowns was taken by the board, taking into account the objectives and expectations of the club, and was not influenced or based on the recommendation of any individual associated with the club. Yeah. You make of that what you will there. But let's reflect a little bit on it. Mazola Molefe was here. I spoke of a broken relationship between the SD and the coach. Have a listen.
The relationship had broken down between the sporting director and the coach. But I also assumed that maybe they would patch it up, and they were just not pulling in the same direction, so to speak, and agreeing on the transfer policy. So maybe it goes more. It goes deeper than that. Maybe it's a personality clash on top of a terrible working relationship that maybe the coach felt he just couldn't stand anymore.
He then went on to speak about the most peculiar thing, which one would not expect or associate with a team of Mamelodi Sundowns' caliber. The semi-final in the Champions League, the selection of that particular team was not necessarily all from the coach.
Coach Rulane admitted that he'd made some mistakes. I thought he just meant within, the confines of the technical team, alongside Coach Michael Loftman, as well as Coach Mangoba Mngqithi and Wendell Robinson as well, that maybe they'd made a blunder by not selecting Tembazwane for that match. But as it would later turn out, as we began digging up, is that the sporting director had a huge say in terms of how the team should shape up against Esperance.
And then the January transfer window and the request of a striker and how the players moved, particularly chosen by Rulane Mokoena versus the sporting director.
First, with the January signings, Mamelodi Sundowns brought in 4 players: right back Zuko Mdingela from Chipa United, Tembi Nkosi Lodge from Orlando Pirates, Tashfik Matthews and Escavel, clearly signed by the sporting director when the coach was asking for an out-and-out striker. The coach wanted Tsegofatso Mabasa as his number one striker at the time. The club brought in 2 wingers who maybe can play as a forward, but ultimately they are wide players. Those concerns were not addressed.
The big one, the glaring one, he was on this show when he spoke about wanting to go to Sundowns, and apparently Sundowns and Mokoena wanted him but couldn't get Mojela.
I can make an example with a player like Bradley Mojela, who on this very show had come on, had a conversation with you. You asked him plain and simple, which team do you want to play for? He said Mamelodi Sundowns. I can confirm to you that Lehlono Mojela had been on the wanted list, recommended by Coach Rulane Mokoena and the technical team to be recruited by the sporting director to come to the club. But they were beaten to the chase by Stellenbosch because the approach or the inquiry just didn't go any further in terms of getting TX Galaxy to agree a deal.
And then, of course, the last one was the Lodge conversation, the SD not wanting Thembinkosi Lodge.
When the Thembinkosi Lodge deal was concluded, and I can tell you for a fact that the sporting director did not want to sign Thembinkosi Lodge. He was looking at his age, he was looking at his record as well, and he would have preferred to sign a player that's a lot younger.
Well, that's the conversation. Like I said, when you hear all of that and then you hear the rebuttal, which is what it is from the statement of Mamelodi Sundowns, because the conversation out at the moment is in and around Mamelodi Sundowns parting ways with Rulani Mokoena because he's not able to get along with Fleming Berg, who is the sporting director. Sundowns in their statement make it very clear that that wasn't so, and almost blatantly speak of the fact that the AFL as well as the league, which are the two things that Rulani won, just not good enough for a Mamelodi Sundowns team. Missing out on the Champions League, missing out on the 3 trophies here locally as well. Just not good enough for a team of that caliber. That's what it's coming across as. Don't know what you think, but that was a conversation there. We're going to take a break from it, handle our business with one of our own here who's joined us in the studio, Amatlati Makulubela, and speak about all things Yanga. We set up this interview a while back, and the man needs to go back to Tanzania as of this Saturday, and we couldn't let him go without having a conversation. So we'll drop that in there before taking your calls.
Lights, camera, scalpel. Every second counts, and every cut, every thought, every action is critical. Critical. Mondays to Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on S3. Starts 11 June. Channel your best drama with BBC Primetime, only on S3. Open up.
Mara, why? Why did you entrust your state-of-the-art head-turning special edition Verpa to Bramikes? Why is the radio stuck on Mosgandi? If you need an expert, why would you choose someone inexperienced? You wouldn't. So when it comes to insurance, choose the insurer with over 106 years experience. Call Santam on 0860 444 444 or speak to your broker to get a quote today. Santam, insurance good and proper. Santam is an authorized FSP, a licensed non-life insurer and controlling company for its group companies.
SBV and Wiesbaden can't wait to spend 90 minutes with Eric Tinkler and his boys. The citizens want to emphasize that they have a superior tactical ability, but the visitors traveled miles from Germany in search of victory. Europe clashes with Africa. Do not miss out on the international encounter between SBV and Wiesbaden and Cape Town City FC on Thursday, 4 July at 7:30 p.m. live on SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4 and SABC radio stations. Hashtag We Love It Here. Brought to you by SABC Sport. For the love of the game.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
You look at what Rulani Mokoena has done at Sundowns. It was telling. There was an unhappiness and an uneasiness about the way he was going about things.
It's hectic. Ziyapenduka in the football fraternity. Big mistake to let Rulani go. You know, it's a huge mistake.
I am a manager. It's very sad, man. A good coach like Rulani Mokoena tloga Moses Schopin some Mamelodi Sundowns.
Look, man, I don't feel sorry for Mokoena losing his job there at Sundowns. I mean, remember how much they spent. You can't expect a club to just win a league that is 15M.
How much was the AFL? Wasn't the AFL a couple of million? Like almost 70 million? Come on, don't disregard that.
6 to 7 p.m.
I'm staying a good distance away from my guest because I don't want to get flu. Former United, Platinum Stars, Golden Arrows, Orlando Pirates, Chipa United, Highlands Park, University of Pretoria, Marumo Gallants player. I know. A journeyman indeed joins us in the studio, a man that's played football at almost every team in the DSU. Actually, Sundowns as well. Yeah. Sundowns as well. He was at Sundowns as well. I think started as a professional at Sundowns. Yeah. So that's where it all began. You didn't know Timmy? Says, I didn't know Timmy. You must know these things. That's where it started from Matlati Makulubela, who now plays his football in Tanzania for young Africans. Welcome, boy.
Thank you so much, Andile. Thank you for the invite, my brother.
Hey, you enjoying Tanzania?
Yeah.
You're a champion there. I actually came to see two of your guys' games sometime last year.
Yeah.
And it's such a different footballing culture there when it comes to how people feel about football.
Yeah, you know, that country, I'd say football for them is a religion. It's a religion, you know. They are so crazy about football, especially the two teams, you know, respectfully, Simba and Young Africans. Those are big powerhouses in Tanzanian football.
Packed stadiums every game. You
Home
guys
and
are
away.
adored like heroes.
Home and away, it's packed. We get people welcoming us at the airport, you know, thousands and thousands of people escorting us all the way till the hotel. So it's crazy.
You played at some of the biggest teams here.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, Sundowns, maybe not at the senior level, but you were at Sundowns, I think reserves at the time.
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates. You played Champions League even with Marumo.
Yeah.
You know, so you know what it's like to be at the top of South African football.
Yeah.
How big a difference is there between us and the Tanzanian league?
Well, in terms of professionalism, you know, I think we are a little bit step ahead, but the Tanzanians, I don't know, man, they have something special. Like football for them, like I said, it's a religion, you know. If you're playing for these two teams, Simba and Yanga, you have to be careful how you carry yourself in terms of, you know, your professionalism, what you do, where you go, because everything will trend and it will get very quickly to the authorities of the club. So I think it's more of professionalism that we see mostly because of the players that I play with, you know, mostly are national team players, if not all of them. You know, when it's FIFA week, we get only 8 players left in the team. The rest of the team is gone to the national team. So those are fully fleshed professionals who know how to conduct themselves.
And financially, is it on par with what South Africa is?
Yeah, no, for sure. I would know of the 3 top teams that are paying very well, which is Yanga, Azam,
Simba, obviously, and Azam,
Simba. Yeah. So those 3.
You can compare those salaries to South African football.
Yeah, sure. You can make a very great living out of the salaries that are paid in those.
But why did you move? I mean, you did well here in South Africa. Marumo in that last season, you guys did well. You were good that season as well. Why move out of the country?
Look, Andile, it wasn't a matter of me not playing. It wasn't a matter of me not getting a good salary. But it was a matter of me challenging myself as a person, because I'm a very enthusiastic person. I'm a very, what can I say? I like to challenge myself, and I've tried once or twice to move out of the country. I went to Georgia to a club where the late now Justin Shonga was at. May his soul rest in peace. I was with FC Gagra in Georgia. You know, things didn't happen the way I thought they would because of obviously COVID hit then. But I've always wanted to explore, challenge myself and get out of the comfort zone. So when this opportunity came, because I spoke, we will get into it, my move, how it happened. But when the opportunity came, when it arose, I didn't hesitate. I took it with both hands.
How did it come?
Well, I was first recruited by, they were following me for quite some time.
Obviously, because you guys were playing Champions League football.
We played against them in the Confederations Cup. In the both legs that we played, I played against them. In the first leg, Coach Nasreddin Nabi spoke to me after the game. I thought it was a joke. He said, don't you want to come play for Yanga? It was just that thing of saying, coach, yeah, sure. And then in the second leg, that's where he pulled me to the side. We had a conversation.
This is you and Nasreddin Nabi now?
Yes. We had a proper conversation, and he said, listen, somebody from the club is going to be in contact with you. When is your contract ending? I said, my contract is ending this season. He said, okay, somebody will definitely be in contact. Unfortunately, he left. But somebody from the club did contact me. And
so Nabi is part of the people that are recruiting you, that see your talent, want you to come to Yanga. But unfortunately, by the time you actually sign and move there, he'd already gone.
And the management done the follow-up. That's when now the president of the club, Mr. Engineer Hersi Said, contacted me when I was on the verge of signing with Moroka Swallows. And then things took a U-turn. Within 3 days, I was in Tanzania. Yeah.
When you're now hearing this Nabi talk, because I mean, this is somebody that are you okay there? All right. Nasruddin Nabi. So somebody that has become one of the most popular names in South African football because of his alignment to Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've been, I think since last season, Kaizer Chiefs was acquiring his services. So we'll see how things unfold, but it looks like it's...
Does that give you a little bit of hope, though? He believes in you. He, no call to say, hey, how's it going there?
Oh, well, look. Anything is possible. I mean, anything is possible.
When last did you have a conversation with
We
Nabi?
woke up to the news of Coach Rulani leaving Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
So anything is possible in this.
When last did you have a conversation with Nabi?
Just wishing him all the best in the finals for...
So you guys are still in contact?
Partly, yes. Partially. We talk now and then,
If he did call?
I'm
just asking. If he did call? I mean, you're a younger player. It's all good. But if he did call?
I would gladly take his call.
Yeah. He's a coach you'd like to work under.
When there is no player that speaks better about a coach, even those that are not playing, then you know that this is a special person. So I didn't get to work with a coach. But when I got to Young Africans, and everyone, from the goalkeeper, the third choice goalkeeper, was saying, what an incredible person he is. What an incredible coach he is. So I speak to Orebunye. He's now playing for AS FAR. Incredible coach. He cannot stop praising Coach Nasruddin Nabi. So, yeah, I believe he is a great coach.
Wow. Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see. We've got time. We've got an entire season ahead of us. Let's see what that man is going to do and if he's going to make the call. Because clearly, if he does, it'll be coming through. Champions League.
Yeah.
Sundowns.
Yeah.
Home and away.
Yeah.
You guys drew them. They were possibly the favorites this season of the Champions League.
We came as underdogs. Nobody was expecting us to do what we did against Mamelodi Sundowns. Bittersweet, I must say. Bittersweet. A whole controversy about the goal. Was it a goal? Was it not a goal? But, for me, coming back to playing, well, I didn't get a chance to play, unfortunately. But, it was bittersweet. I could have loved to play against my former team. But such is football. And the way we exited the CAF Champions League in the quarterfinals, I feel like I said, it was a bittersweet exit. But, yeah, it's football.
I know people in Tanzania. I mean, we've got a big following here in Tanzania, people that listen to the show and watch it on Facebook.
Yeah, for sure.
And that Monday, they were all mad at the robbery, the daylight robbery.
Yes.
Aziz Ki should have been a goal. They've analyzed that thing a million times. What was the feeling like in the team and in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, particularly after that?
Well, honestly speaking, starting from the players, it was wearing heavily on us, a tough pill to swallow. The supporters, it was worse. I felt sorry for the Wananchis, the beautiful support of the club, they carry their team with their hearts and their spirit. And I really felt sorry for them. They didn't deserve that.
Didn't deserve what?
I felt like, the referee could have gone a little bit deeper into that VAR screen and maybe we could have gotten something. But, yeah, such is football, I must say.
What about Aziz Ki?
Aziz Ki, or what was his?
No, I'm saying Aziz Ki. I can imagine how, because he thought, he's done the things there.
Yeah. No, sure. Like, a massive, wonderful player, I must say, Aziz.
I think, because like I said, I've seen him play live 2 matches when I went to watch you guys.
Yeah.
And I think he's a better player than what we saw in the 2 leagues.
He's got so much to offer, I had the privilege of sitting and watching Aziz very closely in each and every game that we played. I've played with him, I've trained with him in each and every session. What is such a talented left-footer player. In football, not always do you get such players. Those are special players. You'd compare them with Bo Masibusane Zongo.
Oh, wow.
I got to play with Zongo, such a great talented player. And
this was a platinum, ne?
Yes.
Yeah.
We played together at platinum. So such players need to be understood first. They need a coach that really understands their abilities. They should be protected, because if you don't get good coaching and coaches that understand you, you fade away in football. They say you are lazy. But Aziz is very lethal. He's not a player that will run, up and down in the field, but he will give you what you need there.
You are close to Aziz. You speak to Aziz. You're South African. He's had interest from South Africa. Has he said anything to you about anything South Africa related?
Yeah, well, look, after the game against Mamelodi Sundowns, obviously, he's been getting calls left, right, and center. And I had the privilege of sharing a room in camp the game after Mamelodi Sundowns, a league match. I shared a room with him, and we had a lot of conversation about football and everything, And he was just asking me my honest opinion about South African football, and me having played for both teams that supposedly were in contact with him, which is Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, and I gave an honest opinion about the two teams. So yeah, we had a conversation about his career.
You know him, you know the South African League. Does Aziz Ki come here and light things up, in your opinion? If he fits into a Pirates or Sundowns, does he light things up? The two teams that have asked or questioned him on whether he'd like to come or not. Do you think he would fit in South African football?
Depending who he's coached by. Like I said, he's a special player. Special players need special coaches who can take good care of the players. Aziz, somebody looking at him with another eye might say, nah, Aziz, he's not the best player in Tanzania by mistake. He's not the leading goal scorer in Tanzania by mistake, And he's a phenomenal player, man. He's a very, very good player. And should he come to South Africa and be at the good team at the right time with a good coach, he will light up the DStv Premiership. Yeah.
Wow. All right, there you go. Timmy's always wondered about the player. I came here and saying things about him. I actually spoke to Coach Rulani about him. And he was very, I'd come back. I'd just seen him. I said, hey, do you know this player? He says, yeah, I knew this player when I was at Chipa. I wanted him. But Chipa couldn't afford him or something like that at the time. So he didn't get him. But he was very well aware of the player that he is. You're what, 34 now?
Yeah.
Are you finishing your career in Tanzania? Are you happy with where you are now? Are you going to see it out there? What are the plans? What are the thoughts? When does your contract end of this season, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the thinking now?
Look, I still have a lot of years to go. I think. How old is Ronaldo?
Yeah.
But you look at my body structure. Honestly speaking, you look at my body structure. A professional. Not only is the age is. There's a lot of things that play a vital role in your career. How you hold yourself. What you eat. You gotta look after yourself, So this body will carry you for as long as you want. So I still have a lot of years to go. So yeah.
Do you wanna come back home?
Home is home. The door is always open.
But do you wanna? Are you happy?
I'm happy in Tanzania. Honestly speaking, I'm happy in Tanzania. The way the team received me. I've never been welcomed. The way young Africans welcomed me in the country, I feel like when I'm in Tanzania, I was telling, the other day I was working with my wife, we were going to the shops, and, every aisle we go into, somebody will stop me and ask for a picture. And then she ended up, leaving me in the store. I found her in the car mad at me because she was saying, I will never go to the shops with you because we can never finish shopping without you taking pictures and everything. But it just shows the appreciation that you get when you step outside your
and it's different here.
It's very different. I enjoy. I can walk freely and do things. It would just be, hey, sure, hey, sharp. But in Tanzania, it's different, Those people, they love and appreciate you as a person, what you do on the field. And yeah, man, I'm in a good space and I'm happy.
And I know when you are home, there's a lot that you try and do to give back as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's a lot, that I'm doing with my foundation, Matlatsi Maguduvela Foundation, that we just recently launched. So, yeah.
Listen, you go back on Saturday, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if Aziz Ki stays this season, but it looks like it from what I'm hearing. It doesn't look like he'll be moving. If he does come, you'll be the first we call to speak about that man. But as far as you and your career are concerned, you've done your thing, and that's why you were recognized out of this country into Tanzania, where you're doing your thing once again. Matlatsi, we appreciate it, man. When you look at the South African DStv Premiership now, Sundowns' dominance, your former club Orlando Pirates, they dominance as well when it comes to the cups.
Yeah.
What do you think of it? What do you rate it to be? Because I know you guys get the games. Because the weekend I was there, actually, the weekend I speak about, the derby was on.
Yes.
And I was watching the derby from there, so I do know that you get the games.
We do. I've been watching a lot of DStv Premiership games, and I must say, Stellenbosch, doing so well in the last campaign. Pirates giving Mamelodi Sundowns a push every time. So I'm hoping and I'm looking forward to a great competitive season of the 2024-2025. It's going to be an interesting one, with Coach Rudlani also leaving Mamelodi Sundowns. We are looking into who's going to be filling in those shoes. So it's going to be a very interesting encounter coming this season.
All the best, bud.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to pop in and watch a game. I'm going to pop in. I love coming to Tanzania. This time at least it's you and I get our phone.
I get our VIP.
VIP. I'm going to stop at the peaked. But that's good, ladies and gentlemen. He's out of here. Younger midfielder. Of course, a South African who's done almost everything in the DStv Premiership. Now moving on to Young Africans, where he gets to play Champions League with one of Africa's biggest teams as far as support is concerned. You have to go watch one of their games to see what we're meaning. I think we had the chairman here the one time, and he told us, your chairman was here the one time.
Okay.
And we spoke to him about the culture, and he said, he loves South Africa and what happens here, but when it comes to the culture of football, filling stadiums, doesn't matter what time the game is, in the middle of the night, because you guys play those late games sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes the games start at 9 p.m. And it's packed.
Arre! Super Stadia King Moses Mabita at 9 o'clock morning. Let's see. I'd love to take it up, but thank you so much for giving us a glimpse into the window. We have a lot of people on this show that always ask that we cover more African football because they watch as well.
Yeah.
They listen and they watch on Facebook, on Instagram, and everywhere where we broadcast our show. But before you go, Bafana.
Sure.
Is that something that you even think about?
Yeah, for sure. We had a conversation with Sia Ngezan, and I was so happy because, he stepped out of the country, struggled a little bit when he got to Romania. Then he got his footing and things turned out different. Now he's playing in the national team. So they say hang around a barber shop long enough, you are soon to get a haircut. Yeah.
So you're hoping you to still get the call.
You are soon to get a haircut. Yeah, no, for sure.
Have you ever even had a conversation with Hellman or a team manager, Hugo Bruce, anything?
Somebody that I hold dear to my heart, that I speak closely. He's been mentoring me, Coach, I call him Coach, the technical director of SAFA, Mr. Steenbok. Yes, he's doing a tremendous job. He's coached me at Mamelodi Sundowns Youth when I was coming up. I think a big shout out to him. But yeah, he's been just, trying to advise me, and he's been a pillar behind the scenes.
So you look at the Sundowns team. You look at this South Africa team. You look at them at the AFCON. You look at the qualifiers that we're playing, and you say, "I see my place there. I fit in this team."
Well, look, with all due respect to the players that are playing, very, 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 very exceptional players that are doing well for the country. Shout out to also Coach Bruce Hugo. He's doing a very good job. And their recruitment team, I think they are doing their job. But I feel like I still need to, give that a little bit of a push for me to be recognized out there. So it's a process.
I appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you so much, Andile.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
Africa's favorite journalist, Mickey Jr. A coach that you've been following, you've been keeping tabs on, Nabi losing his last match.
Nabi is one person I know so well. He's very emotional and passionate about his job. Yesterday, I don't know how he's going to take defeat. Probably it happened with Kaiser Chiefs in South Africa, but I know that Nabi is just emotional. Just want to win.
His conduct as well. I've never heard that about Nabi before. It was the first time I'd seen a temper like that.
I mean, this is his final game, and probably he would love to leave with a trophy for Rabat, the fans, the capital city. I mean, the people who trust him and believe in his work, they were ready, they were confident, they believe that leaving with a trophy makes it, more unique.
6 to 7 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts because Metro FM is bringing the heat to Durban July weekend.
Party time.
It's a power-packed 3-day extravaganza kicking off this Friday night. We're broadcasting live from Tiger's Milk for a sensational edition of Audiogasm. Expect electrifying beats and a night you won't forget. Join us from 7 p.m. to get the weekend started right. On 6th Saturday, the Penthouse Sessions is taking the groove to the next level at the exclusive Afrotainment Marquee. From noon till late, we'll be jamming to the finest tunes. Featuring some of the hottest artists and performers in the industry. It's the place to see and be seen. So come dressed to impress and ready to dance. Finally, we wrap up this spectacular weekend back at Tiger's Milk on Sunday. The one and only Paul with the Chill Factor will be coming live from 12 to 3 p.m. Bringing you the ultimate Sunday jams. Don't miss out on the ultimate Durban July weekend experience. Brought to you by Metro FM. For more details, follow us on social media at Metro FM SA.
Mahlatsi, my second as the one so Andile. Mahlatsi came to the School of Excellence. Very, 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 very skinny boy. And I was a senior at that time. He was just dribbling everybody. You could see that this boy plays with passion. Until today, right throughout, he has faced so many coaches. He has played in other teams as well. He's playing his game. He's enjoying his game. And that's what it's about, enjoying your game, loving what you do, and do it to the best of your ability. I so wish that he could have got a few caps under Bafana. But Mahlatsi, I just want to tell you, man, keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep flying the flag high. One love. And, in football, we always meet again. Danko.
He's listening and he says, thank you very much, Bernard. He's listening there. Of course, Bernard Parker is a man that, as we speak now, I know by the end of this week, what's today, Wednesday? By the end of this week, he would have had to make a decision on his future as well. As far as, is he retiring? Is he going to keep playing? Is he going to take up a role as offered by Tim Sugazi? He sits with that decision right now, very similar to what Itumile Nkuna is sitting with. Bernard Parker, his future will be decided this week, and I can't wait to host him because I can tell you now, as soon as that is done, this is where he'll be to tell us about that decision. What a professional. What a professional, but what a great human as well. Let's carry on with those voice notes.
Mandela Month is here.
We are moved by a sense of joy.
Let's commemorate the Diva spirit by embracing unity, compassion, and service.
When the grass turns green and the flowers bloom.
What positive change can you create in your community? Metro FM. It's where you want to be.
All right, here we go.
Call Metro FM now on 0860 00 2160. Drop us a voice note on 060 552 7303.
Waking up, I'm too turned up.
Good evening, Abud Andile. Definitely the saddest news to come out of Mamelodi Sundowns this week for me. But let's send coach off with a bang. And this is me imitating him one last time. Congratulations to the chairman. Congratulations to the Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. Congratulations to the Motsepe family. Congratulations to those incredible, incredible human beings. I'm very proud of this group of players. Ah, man. This is one thing I'm going to miss about Coach Rulani.
Let me tell you.
May he move on to greener pastures.
Let me tell you. You know, you're going to hear, you're going to see a lot of things, but when Coach Rulane is ready to open up his chest, he'll come here. Forget everything else you're seeing and hearing. When Coach Rulane is ready, he'll come here. You know, Mamelodi Sundowns, when they're ready, this is where you'll hear it first. That you can bank on.
Yes, Andre, good evening. It's so sad to hear that the young man has left the Sundowns, but such is life in football. If maybe you didn't meet the mandate from the team, so they should. I think I also saw the news talking about he was supposed to win the Champions League and this and that, but such is life. He has to take courage and move on with his life. He has exposed himself as a good coach, so he will not stay long without finding a club to coach. This is Mike from Cape Town.
Good evening, Andile. Usibuye Soweto. Andile, Sundowns udlala ngathi. They didn't have to say that on their statement. By them saying that, they just gave it away. Someone influenced the decision, and obviously it's the sporting director. But anyway, it is. I mean, it is what it is. Rolando will get a job, and I wish he gets a job in the team that's playing the Champions League as of Shai Sundowns go final, and then they'll see what they've lost. Danko.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Evening, Miss Angelia. Pershan from Dival. Yeah, I just like to comment about our coach, Mr. Roland Mukwena. Yeah, if he leaves the club and is going for greener pastures, for me it's fine, and he's gonna grow in his career. Yeah, just hoping and wishing him all the best. Yeah, record breaker coach. For his age, he has achieved a lot in short space of time. A pragmatic coach. Yeah. One of the best, if not in few years to come in our country. Big up, Joshua.
Urulani bekumela mamele ulento le uSteve Kompela umtshelile ukuthi where much is given much is expected.
Good evening, Andile. Isandanda it won't be the same next season, Andile. Izoshaywa. Tumsani from Gwamhlang in Mpumalanga. Sharp.
Good evening, Andile. Mo urutele star boy. Makuru, kuru. Andile, you know, I remember that boy, Lebon Velas. You know the crew of Marumo Gallants. That team was making me to drive all the way from Kisruegir Koba, Cheka team and Seki Rustenberg just to see Marumo Gallant. I was following that team. Andile, Kuru, all the best and for you to keep doing what you're doing. Mopale from Pretoria.
Hey, good evening, Andile. Hey, it's been hard, my brother. Hey, I've been seeing news about Bongani Sam to Chiefs. Nothing more. Like, are there any players you know any talks going behind the scenes about Kaizer Chiefs? Because I think they are traveling on Thursday to take, if I'm not mistaken, and there's nothing happening. What's happening behind the scene, my aunt? Peace.
Hey, Andy Lechotman. Man. With regards to Lento Yenzwe, Sundowns, I think I'm right, because with what is about to happen at Kaizer Chiefs, hopefully it turns out the way I imagine it to be. I really wanted to find Sundowns at its peak, and then it can come up against Kaizer Chiefs, the new upcoming Kaizer Chiefs. But I have a feeling to say that is the downfall of, or the beginning of the downfall of Mamelodi Sundowns. But you are here. We'll see what happens. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Good evening, Ma. Good evening, Ma. I saw it coming, Ma. I saw it coming. But I think Sundowns are going to put Coach Manqoba Mngqithi as the head coach this coming season. Mark my words, mark my words. It's Luyanda from Ngamakwe, Payatangi.
Right, let's take some of your calls now. It's long coming that we said we would. So let's go for it. Let me start up with Olisa. Olisa's here in Johannesburg. Olisa.
Good evening, how is it?
No, I'm good, man. Talk to me.
I wanna go a bit slight different. I wanna focus more on rugby because there's this big match coming up.
On what?
On Saturday. Mapokopoko on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm happy with the lineup because it's 6-2 split. Ukwaha Smith at number 8. That's plus Umarko Van Staren coming off the bench. I think those are the big selections because the breakdown is going to be very key in this weekend game, and we cannot allow Ireland any quick ball at the rack, and to build phases and momentum because that's where Irish thrives. And of course, Malcolm Max is another breakdown threat coming off bench. So I'm very happy with this coming match. I just wanted to speak about Ama Bogoboko. The other thing when I missed them.
So Rassi, from my understanding, is going 7-1 split in this match, yeah?
That's correct.
I miss having Amani Liebok as part of the team, by the way. I think the last game he played was the semi-final. I wonder what he's thinking as far as his future is concerned. But Olisa, I appreciate it. And maybe you're right. The reason you'd come on a show like this, because maybe we don't speak enough rugby for you to find an opportunity to come on. So we'll look into that and see how we can incorporate rugby a little bit more.
No problem, Mr. Ma. No problem.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Major. Oh, Major gone there. Hey, wangaboni namhlanje. Bonkosi. Yeah, no, I'm good, man. Njani?
But bemele ukuthi bamnikeze noba i4 years because at least ufumene i-AFL wafumana i-league uyabona, and lento ukuthi i-sporting director si-interfere kwi-coaching hayi andila ndibona ukuthi izolunga loo nto leyo.
But so are you?
We have seen many teams andile suffered because of the management interfering in coaching job.
So you believe that, because this club in that statement clearly say that Flemingberg had nothing to do with it. I think it actually goes on to say that the expectation was bafuna wina more than just i-league ne-AFL bona. AFL ngathi ke ayibalwa nobalwa kangako. Into baningawinanga kula Champions League and the 3 trophies engathi yenkulu.
But Andy bemele ukuthi bamnikeze i-chance because the fact that bakwazi ukuthi bamnikeze i-team list ukuthi uThembazana kumele angadlali bamnikeze i-line-up ukuthi kufuneka ntoni. Ucoach kumele andile umyeke ukuthi enze umsebenzi wakhe. I think every department unomsebenzi wakhe. Isikole no-principal unomsebenzi wakhe. I-teachers nomsebenzi wabo. Uyabona loo nto leyo.
Bonkosi,
and then you take it from there.
Sharp, I appreciate it. Lunga's in Road Report. Lunga?
Hello.
Hey, talk to me.
How's it, man?
I know, I'm good, man.
I just have 3 pointers here. One, PSL is not professional.
The league?
Number 2, the league is not professional.
Okay, you can't just say that. You have to tell me why.
Number 2, players should learn to take their career seriously for going forward. This is the second time I'm talking about this. Number 3, there's no loyalty in our South African football. Point number 1. Lack of professionalism. We see teams not being able to pay players and all that. And second thing, going forward, Amachita, asafunu khuluma indaba zokuthi hey ubani uyahlupheka contractual what. No, I think we've got knowledge ukuthi Amachita, I feel like they still have that mind ukuthi what after football they will start their lives from scratch and all that. They need to take their career seriously. Nama contract to Baba draft in such a way that they will benefit them in the future. In the loyalty, I come to Sundowns. I mean, Urolani, Bakot Gumniga 4 years. I mean, in 4 years, much kuluma gama achievement. So kuluma after 15 fetu. In the 4 years that we gave you, you didn't do this. Undola, if I'm not mistaken, it was his first year as solo. Thank you so much, Ma'a.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Lunga. Let's go to Solomon. Solomon is out to Alex Komora. Solomon.
Good evening, Anile.
Yeah, I know. Go for it, my brother.
I'm good, man. No, I'm not surprised about this thing here, Rulani.
Why?
I mean, if we are Sundowns, man, already we won league more than 5 times. So league is not a priority. So which means we focus on Champions League. So if coach are go win a Champions League, we can avoid. Because if we are level if we win a Champions League, I mean.
So AFL leba level Solomon al natabalion.
And the AFL are recount. You know so you never know. So I recount here. So
and also. Pito's a great coach, right? You rate Pito highly, right?
Yeah.
Where do you rate Pito? What do you think of Pito? Is he one of the greatest? Is he the best?
He's one of the greatest.
How long was he at Sundowns?
I think more than 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
How many times did he win the Champions League?
Once.
So does this mean that Pito's not great because he won it once in that time?
But remember, this is a different management. I think if Patrice Motsepe was still in charge of Mandela Sundowns, they were not going to fire Rulan. That's what I'm sure.
Why?
I think because right now the senior director who's involved, obviously, his eye, maybe he needed a European coach. Because they want to focus on the Champions League. Because already, I don't think going a league for what is important. And the other thing, it was unnecessary was an lodge. Because already, I don't think we did different much. Africa was sometimes
Solomon, out in Alex Kokomora, I appreciate it. Let's go to Akona. Akona is in East London. So, Tim Chanam?
Yes, ma. How are you, ma?
No, I'm good, man. Talk to me.
I think the dominance of Sundowns is over from the PSL, and I think the dream that they have to win Champions League, I think it will take another 15 years.
So, their dominance is over because Rulani is gone?
Yes, I believe that, especially if they will bring a European coach or any other coach that will come outside South Africa.
Mangoba is still there.
No, if they don't give Mangoba a job, then still fine.
No. Mangoba is going to be there as an assistant. Doesn't matter what happens, they're going to get a coach, but Mangoba will remain the assistant.
But remember, we had Johannes Kins, we have Stoikovs, Sundowns are struggling. I don't believe in coaches that are coming outside from South Africa that will work well with Sundowns. I'm not saying the coaches that are out of South Africa are not well, but for Sundowns, well, and this thing.
Akona, I think man, because you keep touching the phone with your cheeks and it makes a noise. But I got it. I don't think this is the last of this conversation. Like I said, when there is more in this story. Trust me, this is the only show you're gonna hear it. This is the only show you're going to hear any breaking news as far as that story is concerned. Don't listen to my heavy. No. This is where we are. Faith.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
What's my heavy?
My heavy. And these rumors, the water cooler conversations.
So when mamela my heavy.
No, I don't.
So motha tla ke bone andila tsamaya le mere ko di moving.
That's when I call Andile and I ask him, what is this conversation that I hear or something that I hear that you are...
So when I utla mahebe o tla go ntlung o tlo mbutsa ka mahebe?
Yes, I'm asking you because
so
I don't
want to think about it.
So that means every week
o tlo mbutsa ka mahebe.
Why would there be a story about you every single week unless you're starting stories?
No, ke tsama mo ke haga mantwa ya ko hae so ke mahebe.
Do you know where this needs to start? It needs to start with what boundaries are we setting between the two of us that are going to either add or diminish my hebe. Because certainly if you are my partner, right? Mantwa wa mohaga, ohaga so few, ohaga so nto, ohaga ntumiseng, kaofela nje wena tsama ohaga wena. You're a hagabe. That doesn't make sense to me because then I'd have to ask you about what boundaries do we enforce between the two of us and do we implement between the two of us? Because the same way that you expect me to respect you, so that nobody comes to you and says, Andile, faith kimoni, ahaga tepo, ahaga.
I don't believe those are real friends.
Eh?
People that come to tell you those things are not your friends.
No, but then don't give them a reason to talk.
But don't listen to them.
No, don't give them a reason to talk. People will always have opinions, right? But I think sometimes we either add or fuel the opinions that people have and fuel the drama that people conceive. Don't give reasons to people for them to be dramatic over you, and especially over us. The same way you don't want somebody coming to you and say, hey, Andile, I'm worried about your woman. I've seen her hugging Tepo, Mangli, Vosele, Christopher, and whoever it is. I have to respect you enough to have boundaries and know that though there are friends and though there are ways.
Can I tell you, Faith? Mm-hmm. I've seen, and I know from experience as well, that guys and girls behave differently when they're with their significant others than when they're not. So I can only faith sonto handshake
or a church hug,
or if even mara has a thing ke mo fa hagela ya front to front.
Why would you do that then?
Because that's what we need to get to, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. To say, are we putting such high expectations, or how about Jesus Christ himself?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't greet and we don't behave the same as individuals because we fear over and above that. Can't a hug be a hug and exactly that? It's just a hug.
Can't we have boundaries between the two of us? And I'll tell you why. If Sonto, for example, knows that you hug her like a church choir boy when you're with me, but when you're not with me, you hug her like we're at some other place that you throw dollar billionaires and stuff or dollars signs on them, Sonto will disrespect me. Because Sonto's got that mentality of you don't know what Andile does when you're not there. It is the same reason why if you don't protect the relationship, you'll find some woman. Have you ever heard the story of some woman phoning the wife or the girlfriend of a person saying, hey, you might think you're with your man today, but yesterday he was with me? Do you know what causes that disrespect? Apart from that individual disrespecting themselves, is because you've allowed a space in our relationship for me to be disrespected by somebody who's not even supposed to be in our relationship. And that goes with the way that you carry yourself as a man. So if Sonto knows that when I'm not around, you hug her like she is the biggest thing since sliced bread, then of course she's going to disrespect me, because you've shown her that and you've given her the space to disrespect me, which means that you as Andile don't respect me and don't respect our relationship. So
a hug.
No, but not even just a hug, because a hug can be misread and misconstrued. So how you hug her, the way you hug her when I'm around should be the way that you hug her when I'm not around, because what you're doing is opening up a gap for her to disrespect me. That's why you've got a lot of women who are calling other women in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, yeah, you might be with your husband right now, but your husband was with me yesterday. You know why they're disrespecting your wife like that? Because you've given them the space to disrespect your wife. You've allowed them that space. So what I'm saying is, don't give other people the space to disrespect your relationship by the way that you carry yourself. The same way I will not give another man the space to disrespect you. In fact, I want them to see you and say, Grootman Andile, because of the way I treat you. So they must understand the level of kingship that I've placed you on, and they must follow that level of kingship. But if you don't specify the level of queenship that you put me on, you're giving anybody the space to come in and disrespect me. And if I'm your queen, you will uphold me as such. Am I wrong?
What do you have
see how
going on?
Timbani is like listening to this conversation?
It's 5 past, Faith. People want to know what you've got going on.
Lots in store for us this evening. You and your questions. Lots in store for us this evening. It is an Entrepreneurship Wednesday. As you know, for Business Wednesday, we've got a phenomenal woman in the studio this evening. UCT and Gibbs alumni and serial entrepreneur Kulufele Hope Nengweda in the studio with us this evening, talking to us a little bit about her business. We're also going to be talking about the business of governance. You know that we're spending the entire week looking at getting to know your ministers, who were, by the way, sworn in earlier today. So this evening, we've got Tourism Minister and Good Party Leader Patricia de Lille with us. We're also going to be speaking about the African National Congress, the press briefing that was held earlier this afternoon at about 8 o'clock. From what is being said so far, we know things can change in the 11th hour. It's been said that the Gauteng province or provincial cabinet will be announced at 8 o'clock this evening without the Democratic Alliance. So that's going to be interesting to see. With or without the Democratic Alliance, you're also going to be joined by City Power. I don't know how many of you have, especially those with prepaid meters. You will buy something for 500 rand, and inside the meter you get a reflection of like 150 or 200 rand or something. What is happening at City Power? What's up with these tariffs? These tariffs are exorbitant. People can no longer afford them. It's the middle of winter and we need power. We're in conversation with City Power as well this evening.
Well, can't wait for it. It's 6 after the hour 7. We've got to get out of here. Thanks so much for being a part of the show. We'll do it again tomorrow. But I know lots of you are looking forward to Podcast Friday. Podcast Friday is going to be fully stacked. Mark Haskins back in the studio. Nadeem will be here as well. I've got a feeling the show might be all Sundowns. Pella. That's all me.
We stay connected no matter where you are or where we are. Metro FM. It's where you want to be. Metro FM is committed to a code of conduct as outlined by the Broadcasting Complaints Commissioner of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that is not harmful, does not amount to hate speech or violence or explicit sex. If you believe that our programming is not being adhered to,